Here is a look at the latest on Koinu, also known as Jenny in the Philippines. Was a Category 3 near Category 4 as it passed just along the southern coast of Taiwan overnight Wednesday into Thursday morning. Now it is racing off towards the west. It has weakened the shear, starting to interact with it towards the north, but more so the friction from the tall mountains of Taiwan just ripping this apart a bit. You see on radar, still even have some of that moisture running around and slamming into the mountains there along the east coast, which has added up the rain totals. In fact, there's one area here in Pangtong of upwards of 582 millimeters. And I did mention in the last few updates, some areas we're going to see well over 500 millimeters in those higher mountainous terrains. That is very typical anytime we see a typhoon make landfall in Taiwan. It's just that moisture really starts to add up along the mountains there. And even here in Taitung, where closer to where this made landfall, 400 millimeters of precipitation at recording sites. Remember, some more rural areas could have seen more, but all that gets funneled down into some of these coastal rivers, and that's what really adds up that flood threat along the east coast. But here's the Dvorak analysis, just showing our storm system did peak here, it weakened, then it peaked again, and then after it interacted with the landmass of Taiwan here, started to weaken one more time, and that's really kind of the path we're on at this time as it continues to fall back. It is still a Category 1 typhoon as of making this, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get to that severe tropical storm status here in the near future as it moves off there into southeastern areas of China, really around Guangdong to the east of Hong Kong, but still Hong Kong is going to see some impacts from tropical storm intensity. Not as strong as our last storm, but still a few impacts out here as this continues to move off here towards the west. And let's actually take a closer look here. And this is yesterday as this moved overhead. Now it's tracking towards the west. We still have that flow coming around the backside of it. How about those winds screaming through the Taiwan Strait too, just getting funneled up there along the some of these islands in the middle of the Taiwan Strait, definitely getting some pretty decent gusts. And then you see most of the models continue to show this kind of just sitting, lingering, bringing some decent rainfall to the coastal areas of Guangdong province over towards Hong Kong here. But the winds do back off just a bit. And you can see where the precipitation totals, where some of the heaviest is still continuing to add up. Meanwhile, we pull back the picture. There's another area we're keeping a close eye on back here towards the east out into the Philippine Sea. Now, at this time, this is what the ECMWF guidance is showing for this, and I can tell you that, you know, the extended outlook still is a little bit debatable based on what the GFS and the ECMWF are showing, but both are showing a storm of some sorts here in the Philippine Sea. Let's go with the GFS first, kind of showing this develop, and then it pulls it off towards the north, kind of have a little bit of a weak low right there, and then of course a stronger one back here towards the east. And the ECMWF really wants to develop both of these as well, and shows one storm impacting the Philippines and another one out there towards Guam. This is looking ahead into about a week from now. So I think it's safe to say that we're definitely going to see an increase in rainfall for maybe parts of northern Luzon if we do see this develop, which it does look more and more like that is going to be the case based on some of the long-range guidance we're seeing. And that was the SpaghettiOs. Now we go back to what the ECMWF is showing by next Tuesday and the Wednesday. There's the first storm right there, and then the second storm developing back towards the east in its wake. So yeah, both of them kind of popping up something here. I think give it a few days, we're gonna have a very active pattern with one storm here, another storm trying to develop right in here, and then another storm developing well back towards the east, just east of Guam. So it's this pattern 1 2 3 that could be popping up here. Of course, right now the long range guidance still, you know, it's not 100%, but if I was out here in northern Luzon, I'd definitely be watching this next one very closely, because some of the guidance is pointing at that carrying through and developing into something quite serious. So of course, as always, let me know if you have any questions, and the number one thing is please stay safe out there, guys. A quick update today. I do also want to mention, you know, somebody said my updates are a little lopsided here. I really primarily talk about the rain, which, yeah, But this inflow with these areas that haven't been getting the rain have been getting some heat, especially if you look further towards the south into places like Davao. We're pulling in from that tropical air. So temperatures, look at that, Metro Davao, 34 degrees. They've been in the heat in the sea's been up near 40. So where you're not seeing the cloud cover, but you're still seeing that southwesterly wind, those temperatures have been spiking. Now that is further towards the south, further towards the north. The cloud cover keeps the temperatures down. So if you're not seeing that, but you're still seeing that flow coming out of the tropics, it's going to keep things warm. But look at places like Baguio, where you do have that rain, and it's just a high of 22 degrees. And I usually concentrate on where the rain is. So, yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. I try to answer your questions on here whenever you post them there in the comment section. So, yeah, as always, thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.